Hey guys, welcome back to Building SouthLake. So it's been a week since I've actually uploaded a video of SouthLake, mainly because last week I was just really busy on Monday and Tuesday with moving back in with my parents, so that required moving all my Xbox stuff, my recording setup, and all that. So what we're going to do is come down here to the stadium, and we're going to add two names since we didn't do it one last week. So the first one is going to be Plixton, I believe. I remember seeing his comments quite a bit, and I still see him to this day. So Plxton. There you go, Plixton. Hopefully I'm saying your name right. And then we have Terminized. So let's go up there. So it's T-E-R. I'm trying to make sure I just spell it right. M-I-N-I-Z. Then E-D-D. Now, I'm not spelling it wrong, that's just how he spelled it, so just kind of keep that in mind. Okay, so yeah, there you go, guys. So we have Plixton and Terminized. So thank you guys for watching videos. Jax, stop messing with the box. Goodness gracious. So today, from the title, you might have guessed what we're working on, and something I've actually been working on for the past couple of days, and I've been waiting to actually start working on it. So we're going to fly over there now, and basically it's the museum. I mean, so you guys saw it in the title most likely. So we're going to fly over there, so we're going to go underground so we don't spoil the surprise. So we're going down here, through the tunnels, you know, just chillaxing, going throughout the city, and then, oh, I stopped flying. Here it is, over to our left. So here is the museum. So I have a couple of good ideas for what I want to do. Well, I'm not sure if they're good ideas yet, hopefully they will be. So let's take some night vision. So I was originally going to make this a library, but then I decided, you know what, a museum might be a pretty cool idea. I even added like these barricades here, so like if anybody tries to rob the museum, I just have to come over here. I'm going to move the lever at one point, I just made it for now right here. So if I press that, they go up, and voila, now nobody can get in or out. No way in, no way out. Okay, so what we're going to do is basically just start working on this and try to finish up the back. It's basically going to be a symmetrical building here. A couple, you know, cool ideas I had was, I'll kind of show you guys here in a minute, because I'm not sure if I want to do it yet or not. Mainly because I'm not sure if it would look good, but at the same time I think it would. So I'm like in between it. I have no idea what I want to do with it. Again, like I said, I'll show you guys here in a minute. I just want to finish up this wall. It's actually been killing me not to finish this, because I haven't been able to record in the past couple days. Well, I have been, but I haven't been. It's like been a weird thing. And so it's been one of those things to where I really want to record it, but at the same time, I just really wanted to get it done. So I decided I would do most of it, you know, off camera, like what I usually do, come up with the design, and then later kind of show you guys and finish it up. And that's kind of what I'm doing here, mainly because this has taken quite a bit of time to build. I mean, no surprise here, it's pretty big. It's a pretty big museum. I wish I could make it bigger. I thought I had more space than I did, but I still think it's actually a pretty good size, and the reason for it is because it might not be too big to where you're gonna have so much empty space, because that's something I always see in, you know, some buildings, to where if you make them too big, what are you gonna do with all the space like after you're done with it? So I think I might be able to fit everything I want to in here, you know, when I do get to the interior eventually. I'm not sure when that's going to be, but you know. Because as you guys know, and I've said this so many times, I'm not really one for interior. And I get this question a lot, mainly because none of my buildings have interior to them. And mainly it's just because I get bored of it, and I'm not great at interior. I've gotten better over the years. I've gotten some great designs from other people. Like Biggs from Chaos Craft, he's fantastic at interior. I've used a lot of ideas from him recently, and some of my houses and things like that. But at the same time, I'm not as bad as I used to be, but I'm still bad in my opinion. Some people might say I'm good, some people might say I'm horrible. You know, I'll probably lean more towards the horrible side in my opinion, but I'm always pretty rough on myself, and comparing myself to other YouTubers recently when it comes to interior, definitely, because I don't really ever compare myself to other YouTubers too much. But, you know, like when I do watch somebody else's videos, that's when I kind of like, you know, how am I comparing to them? Not views-wise, but in design-wise. And so, I've never been good at interior. It's something I've always gotten bored of. I think it's more because I'm not since I'm not too interested in it, I don't give it as much time as I should. It's more of, you know what, I just want to get it done and get working on the next exterior of the house. Because I'd rather be like the exterior builder and then come in later, like have somebody else come in and finish the interior. Because to me, that's just more fun. Exterior building, it's a little bit more fun to me. There's more design that goes into it. Interior is definitely its own art form though. I'm not going to discredit that from anybody. People who can do interior, especially in Minecraft, to where, because I think interior is also really hard in Minecraft, mainly because it's all blocks, and that's the main thing. And I'm just not creative when it comes to interior. I don't know why. It's just, like I said earlier, probably because I lose interest in it, and that's probably just the main reason why I don't really get too into it. And I kind of like been preaching that here. And this wall is almost done. So let me show you one of my future plans if I ever do go through with it. So I did have two plans. So we'll go over this one first. So I want to have basically like I don't know how to describe it, kind of like a mini park that comes through the backside of the museum here, then goes all the way over across, you know, like has a walkway, trees on both sides, and another way in over here that you can just walk through. A nice little park that you can just walk through to get to the museum for a little bit more decoration. And then the other design I had was, this one kind of got ruined mainly because of the highway system here. But what I was going to do was kind of like how Washington DC has everything lined up. I was going to kind of do that here at the front, just have like a park like right here coming through. But then I realized, oh wait, the highway's right there. I was like, oh man, that kind of ruined that idea. Unless I do want to move the highway, but at the same time I do and I don't, because it is in a pretty good location and I can still make other buildings and, you know, like a central part of the capital at some point, just not sure when. Alright, so we got that. This is probably one of the hardest parts, is trying to remember how I did everything. So how far are we? So we're up to here. Let's just make sure. Okay, so there we are. So we need our, that's not stone. We'll get rid of the gray wool for now. We don't need that anymore, really. Okay, so then we also need this. Sorry if this kind of seems like the boring talk. I'm just trying to figure out how to make sure everything stays level and even with where it should. And this design isn't originally mine. I took it and ran with it from Huntington, which I talked about that server quite a bit. It's the server I play on the PC, and they have a city called Huntington, and I really use that for inspiration. This building wouldn't have been possible without, you know, looking at one of their buildings that they made, and I kind of just went with their design, changed it up a little bit to kind of fit the city needs now, but I still use their basic design of like the front and everything like that. And their design was just absolutely amazing, and I'm actually loving how this looks so far. I especially love the trees right here. The trees here in the middle just look perfect. Just how you have the grass here, then the trees in the middle. Something about it just makes it look amazing. At least in my opinion. You know, you might have a different opinion. Everybody does. Let's have this come all the way over. I probably should have done this originally anyways. So that needs to go there. So then we need this here. Bum 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 bum. So these are, I'm not sure if I went over the materials I'm using for the building. So basically for the building, I am using quartz mainly as the main material, as you guys can probably tell. Mainly because I wanted to have that clean look. Because you know how like when you go into like Washington DC, if you've ever been there, or just like a government building, they're always like pretty white, you know, that clean look. And that's what I wanted to go for with the museum here. Mainly because I want it to be something that stands out from everything else around it. Because I want it to be one of the main centerpieces of the city. And that's something I don't have too much of yet. And I have some iconic buildings that kind of represent the city. But usually cities have a museum. They have things that kind of show the history of it. Now, I'm not sure what I'm going to put in this, like in the museum. But you guys can kind of get the idea of what I'm trying to do here. I'm trying to make it feel like the city is actually coming alive. At one point, I do want to make it to where the city actually has like rush hour, so it kind of looks like there's cars and traffic jams, things like that. I want to do a lot of that stuff, but that's going to come more when the city's done, because surprisingly, cars take quite a bit of time to build, even though they're pretty small. Like they're usually pretty small. they can take quite a bit to build because you go through a lot of materials. Wait, so did I mess up on this one? I'm confused. Oh, okay, that's why. I was like, wait, what did I do? I was just over on the wrong pillar. Have this one come over, and it should stop right there. Perfect. So luckily I don't have to redo any of this. And I think one of the main things that kind of makes this building stand out is the pillar designs that we used. It's basically just pillar court blocks with stone brick stairs and quartz. And just the design of it really kind of captures that feel of a real pillar. And another thing I think I did pretty well with, and I talked about this in some other videos when it comes to building a city, is the scale of it. Because when you're walking out in front of it, it kind of actually looks like it has the correct scale in order to be a museum. Because usually museums and buildings like this, they're not small. They're really, really big. And trying to get that scaled to the right size for your player, like right here, when I walk up, it feels huge, like it should. It's not too small. I don't feel like I'm going up 4 levels, you know, like in real life. That's how tall I am. So I think I kind of hit the nail on the head there when it came to the size of it. So what, does this have to turn all the way? I'm not sure how that has to look. I have to go over and check. So it goes all the way back. So then on top, and okay, so it looks like it does go all the way through. So it needs to come through here and then turn. Excuse me, guys. Yeah, I've been working on SouthLake quite a bit recently. Mainly just, I've been kind of obsessed with storage units recently, just like trying to make those. Because I actually did start working on a storage unit building for a city. Because I just got a storage unit for all my stuff for moving. Because like I said at the beginning, I moved back home with my parents. It's just to save up some money. And so I had to put all my stuff in storage units. And when I was in the building, I was like, I thought about it before, but this kind of really made me go, I want to make that for some reason. Don't know why, I just had that thought pop in my head. And so I wanted to make one in the city to kind of give it that realistic look into it. And actually have a building for purpose. Because a lot of these, since there's no interior to them yet, they don't really have a purpose. You don't know if they're going to be an office building, whether they're going to be, I don't know. I mean, there's a lot of different. So that should just go all the way across. So it should. I'm happy I remember. My words have gone. I'm happy I remembered that. So you can actually kind of see the storage unit building over there. So it's actually pretty easy to see. So one of the main things I tried to figure out was how would a storage unit building in a city look like, because they're different in the city rather than in, you know, a rural area like a suburban area. They're going to be a lot different. They're not going to be as tall, because in a city you can't really take up as much space. You can vertically, but not, you know, like in a plot size. So I think that needs to be all these. Oh, didn't mean to get rid of that one. But oh my god, messing up like crazy. So maybe when this is done, depending on the interior, this might be one of my new favorite buildings. I think it also depends on what I do with the surrounding buildings, because the bank next to it is actually looking pretty good. I kind of like having that one there. But I do need to make some really nice buildings next to this in order to make it feel special, because then you kind of want this area over here to kind of feel like a nicer part of the city. And that's kind of what I want. So I'll have to figure out some new designs for some nicer buildings over here. Because the bank, I definitely like the bank. The bank has that look that it fits in right here. So I'm happy about that. I just need to figure out what other buildings I need to add. Whether it's a parking garage or just more like skyscrapers like this. That's not really a skyscraper anyways. But how much time are we at? We are at 14 minutes. We haven't gotten too much done. Oh man, I'm having the soda hiccups. Or the fizzy drink hiccups, as known in England. Yeah, for those of you that don't know, when Biggs, Zai, Conman, and Fancy Blue Pants were all playing the game of Flint, I brought up the fact that I needed a soda, because as you guys know, I like soda. And so I brought up I brought up the topic of, man, I really need a soda. And Biggs, who's from the UK, was like, Yeah, we call them fizzy drinks over here. It's like, what? Fizzy drinks? Like, I don't know. To me, that's just a really weird name for it. I don't know why. Maybe, in my opinion, not trying to be mean here, it kind of sounds like really sissy. Like, I'm having a fizzy drink. Now, that's just my opinion. I'm not, like I said, I'm not trying to be mean or call out Britain. I'm not trying to start an international war. So how come World War III started? Well, this one guy said that the fizzy drink sounded feminine, and, you know, that's how World War III started. Hopefully that doesn't happen, but you never know, because, you know, I'm an iconic figure these days, as you guys know. Don't take me seriously there, because that's definitely not true. But, you know, just trying to get my point across. And just, it sounded just really weird to me, because I've never heard it said like that, or just called that. And that's just because I'm used to soda. And that's the thing. Because in America, we're used to the words we hear. Kind of like when we hear, like, over in the UK. You guys say, like, bloody and, like, different words like that all the time that we don't use here all the time. And that's just your oh my god. That is your culture. There we go. I'm like 7 for 5. Man, or, actually, that's, oh man. I'm like 5 for 7, if that. I can't speak today, guys. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to do anything. I'm just trying to build my, my museum here, nice and peacefully. And I'm just being stupid. So, I'm not sure if I want to add windows up here. Huh. I'm not sure how I want to do that. It actually doesn't look bad the way it looks now. So, I might change it, I might not. Let me know in the comments. So, we actually might call it quits because we are in around the 20-minute mark, which is where I'm trying to keep these. Also, I was trying to figure out what to put here, because I like the gray because it adds some contrast to the building. And so I wanted to put something in here, so I put a SL for SouthLake. Also, I've been seeing a lot of comments about, like, well, you should add a lake somewhere to kind of make it feel like the name of SouthLake, which I'm going to do at some point, because I think that is a great idea. I'd probably make the lake down south, you know, SouthLake. Also, over here, I'm working on expanding the islands a little bit so I can make more bigger buildings and start expanding a little bit. So what I want to do is I want to turn the river to go this way, because I think that would actually be pretty cool to do it that way. So this might be like the start of like the river line. So this is where it would start going this way. The river would actually be a lot wider than it is now as well, because it also wouldn't be as uniform. You're not going to see like solid straight up and down walls. You're actually going to see like what a river would actually look like. You're going to see riverbeds, things like that along it. Because what I was trying to do with the river here is kind of make it feel like, since it's going through the city, I want it to be nice and, you know, I want it to feel nice and smooth like the rest of the city. But when you get to the outer skirts and out of the city, it can kind of go back to being the norm of a river. So that's what I want to go for. So I'm starting to expand it. I'm not sure if I want to keep it this size or make it even wider, because it is a good start, which means I'll just have to make more bridges going over this way. So I've kind of started doing that, so we have more stuff to start doing. The only bad thing is I'm going to have to start filling in grass for all this. Ugh, it's not going to be fun, but you know, it's got to be done. So guys, thank you very much for watching. Let me know in the comments what you think of some of these plans for the museum, like how I told you, like the small part coming across the highway. There would actually be like a small tunnel that holds everything up and make it kind of look more realistic. But then just having like something small over here, or just adding another building here and just, you know, keeping the museum the way it is now. Also, let me know what you guys think of the museum in general. So, bye bye guys, and thank you very much for watching. It is greatly appreciated. Bye bye.